Hello and welcome to my newest video. Today we're going to talk about Forge and especially about my current build, the cycle mode build or the spin to win build. It's basically spinning around using your land skills to deal damage. And we're going to run my newest build against the Act 3 boss on the highest difficulty. But before we do that, let's quickly talk about the build itself. You can see I'm using 2 legendaries, but to be honest, I will pick any other blue or green item over them if I get one with better stats, and you don't really need legendaries for this build. The stats you want is a very high defense, as high as possible, and a very high defense versus the primary element. It's also nice to have a decent health pool and some health regeneration. But yeah, defense and defense against elements is probably the best stats for this build. And right now you can see I'm not doing a lot of crazy stuff with this build. All my items either do damage or have defense. I didn't even enchant this one yet. Regarding enchanting, you always want to enchant defense unless you're having a one-handed weapon with an enchantment slot, then try to get health on kill. The skills itself, let's start here, are pretty straightforward. You're using cycle mode to build up heat and deal AoE damage, and then you're either using vortex bomb to draw enemies in and deal more damage with cyclone mode, or use the coal launch to deal AoE damage and get some damage over time going, which is especially nice against boss enemies. And you get a lot of heat using cycle mode, so you can usually just use both vent skills. In the end, it really depends on the enemy type. Vortex Bomb is great if you want to group enemies together, whereas Core Launch is mainly used for the damage increase against burning enemies, the tier 2 bonus, as well as the damage over time. Of course, you have Ramming Robot to escape from situations that get too hot for you, and Rapid Strike on tier 2 for the extra damage. Yeah, that's basically it. Using Power Projection for the heal and, of course, for the bonus defense. And we're using Blood Drinker as our relic of choice, simply to get the heal going with either the blood pools or the heal from the blood frenzy. The passive skill is called Blood for Blood. So these 3 are the most important right now. And it's always nice to have some extra damage, some extra dot damage over time against your boss enemies. And if you want to know more about the build itself, click the link below or simply go to torchlight-school.com. So, enough about the build, let's see it in action. I'm going to skip the video here in a second. Skip it, and let's start the boss. And the boss fight itself, it's a lot about knowing the mechanics and dodging when needed. We're starting with our relic to deal some dot damage as well as just getting it out there. And now, for this phase, for the first phase, we can simply stand on the boss, use our skills. First phase is over. Let's kill the ads real quick. Here, the Vortex Bomb is pretty nice to group up and kill them as fast as possible. As well as our relic skill, you can see dealing some decent AoE damage. In this phase, we really want to dodge the poison balls, which he will start summoning on his 3rd attack. There we go. And Now we want to make sure not to get hit by them. Popping our shield here, just to get a little bit extra defense in case we get accidentally hit by the poison puddles here. But we want to make sure not to get into those.
Then I will devour the mountain.
Now we have the electric phase, and we can stand on in here. We're not standing on the poison, which is great. So we're using our dots, our heat. Oh, we want to dodge that exactly for that reason. Now you can see with my current build I can take one hit, but you really want to make sure not to get hit by it. Using our ramming robot for some mobility, getting our shield going. Let's quickly kill these ads here. And these ads shouldn't be a problem at all. They have very low health, easily one-shottable, even by our relic skill, as you could see a second ago. And during this phase we really want to get the healing shrine going for the last part. And we really want to make sure not to get hit by all the AoE damage that is coming our way, especially the electric and poison damage can easily kill us if we're not careful. Getting our heat up, you don't have to deal damage to get your heat up. Using our coal attack to get some dot damage going. Using our relic, you can see we have some dots going, and oh, no, oh, nearly hit us. Getting our shield going again, and that's it. You can see he's dying to the dot damage. Right now the poison balls are still active, so we don't want to either run into them or the poison on the ground. So eventually you have to dodge a little bit.
You are overloaded.
Let's get these cores. And yeah, that's basically the fight. And the build is pretty strong against all bosses. You have to understand the mechanics, of course, so you know when to dodge. But otherwise, you can basically kill anything in the game right now, even on higher levels. So that's the build. If you have any questions, feel free to post it under the video or go to the website and post your questions there. Hopefully I see you next time, and until then, bye bye guys.